Good afternoon and welcome to the preview for Sha Tin on Sunday. There's a big jackpot with the club throwing in 18 extra million up for grabs. Difficult, but not impossible. So it'll be an interesting day. Probably be the only bet we have. Don't really like anything else on the card. The rest of it's fairly ordinary. Race one, awful race. It's unraced, so we don't have to worry there. Race two, fairly ordinary race also. Mr. Gourmet, probably hard to beat from the inside draw. Should get up onto the speed. The 8 Great Stories and the 9 Royal Elegance seem to provide a bit of value here. There might be around 6 or 7 to 1. Bad draws, no advantage there, but they look the best of the rest. Probably 6 Goldland Dancer, 14 Grand Champion, and 11 Crimson Heart. But it's a race that devoid of any great interest, really. 1 on top from 8, 9, 6, 14, and 11. Race 3, awful race. Same culprits running around here. I suppose one of them's got to win sooner or later. Wealth Park, if it runs up to its last 2, it's probably got more upside, even though it's a 7-year-old. It's probably got more upside than most of these at this stage of their preps. They've all had a million chances, so it's pretty hard to get a guide on the rest of them. They're no good. Gold Tartini's always threatening. Same as Burgundy Mac, they get back and always running on. Of the rest, 3 Kensworth Kid, 4 Ones Fortune, 13 All My Kingdoms. But again, a race got absolutely no interest in whatsoever. And, they're desperate for a bet. Number 9, Wealth Park. Race 4's got unraced. And we get to the interesting 3 races from a betting proposition as far as we're concerned. The jackpot TT. The opening leg is virtually impossible. Hardly anything's got any form. It's a typical Class 5. It's an awful race. It's going to have to probably be always. Unlikely we're going to find an anchor here. I've got number 11 Man and Ming on top by virtue of the good draw. Magical Beam also good draw. Splendid Guys always running on and finishing just behind them on the heels of the place getters. Maybe from barrier 8 won't get as far back. The other chances are 5 Young Warrior, 1 Gold Weaver, 10 Triumphant Dragon, all drawn very badly. Going to have to go back. I suppose Gold Weaver with Mosse, he'll press forward. It is a front runner. If it jumps, he'll attack for the front. If it can get it to the front and it doesn't have to work too hard, it can still figure. Of the rest, I've left in 3, 4, and 13. But it's a very wide leg on paper and looks a very tough race. 11 on top from 12, 7, 5, 1, 10, 3, 4, and 13. We go to the middle leg. Floral Man. If Marrera can get it to settle a little bit closer than normal, this is a possible anchor. You always got your heart in your mouth with a horse like this because it does get back off the speed and he's always weaving and ducking looking for a run. If he can get it through the field somewhere, it can be right in the finish. Down near the bottom, 11, 12 and 13, they're all drawn well. Should be able to get somewhere near the speed. Now it's the C course out wide, so you need to be near the front if you can. Certainly want to be in the front half of the field anyway. 7 Oscar Miracles, drawn really well. Good run last start. It's probably got a little bit more upside than most of these. Only had 3 runs here, so most of these others have, 8 and 10 and 12 and 15 start maiden. So it's a fairly ordinary race. I've got it down to 5 chances plus 3 sort of risky ones. I've got 3 from 11, 12, 13 and 7 as sort of the main 5. And the only other 3 that I realistically gave any possible place chance to are 5 Heartwood, 1 Cultural City and 2 Country Charm. Not with any great confidence, but they appear to be the best of the rest. We go to the last leg. This race looks completely devoid of any chances. If the one Divine 10 had drawn out 4 or 5 spots wider, it'd be $1.10. From barrier 3, it's probably still going to be $1.40 or $1.50. I mean, it's not a betting proposition, but after the way Purton slaughtered it last start, trainers woken up, got rid of him, put Marira on it. The barrier draw is definitely no good, although it did win from the barrier 2 starts back and bolted in run 56, broke 57 from that side of the track. There is a big bias coming down the straight here, favours the outside draws by 4 or 5 lengths. So this is going to have to do something exceptional to get across. Can't come down the middle. He's got to fire it out and get it straight over as probably 2 or 3 outside pure force, which is probably going to lead. The only horses, in my opinion, that have got any possible chance of running in the place are 10 pure force, 1 Divine 10, 3 Phenobia, 5 Art of Success, and 7 My Little Friend. Now, 4 of them have drawn the right side, 9, 11, 12, and 14, and obviously the favourite's drawn the wrong side. Nothing else on form or by virtue of barrier appears to have any possible hope of running a place. So they're the only 5 we can work around. Got 10 on top by virtue of the barrier draw from 1, 3, 5, and 7. We go to race 8. The Keedma feed looks too good for these. The only dangers appear to be 4 Endowing, 2 Dan Excel, which was unluckily beaten at 50 to 1 last start. Won't be anywhere near that price this time. And probably Ashcare and Real Specialist for the placings. But 1 on top from 4, 2, 8, 5, 6. Race 9, Super Lifeline, strange run last start. Probably needed the hit out. Coming in 14 days later. I think it's the one to beat. Double 8, Lucky Double 8. It's been working well enough. Maybe better at Happy Valley, but the longer run in is going to help it. Must be included. 1 Destined for Glory. It's dropped into a race it can win. Chances to 8 Majestic Falcon and 2 Penglai Zianzi from barrier 3. If he gets it out in front and they let it bludge, it's capable of getting away from them at the top of the straight, and might be hard to run down. 14 on top from 7, 1, 8, 2. Small chances, place chances 9, 12, 13. Race 10, Our Folks was enormous first up, big effort. Wouldn't need to improve much to beat these. Master Sommelier, probably 1 more chance for it at the 1400. Ma Wing. From barrier 5, if he can settle it in the front half of the field, it could possibly play a part in the finish. Number 13, Golden Deer, had a really soft trial. This looks ready to go. Chances after that to 1, 11, and 6, maybe the 10. And the last race doesn't look too many chances here. I think the winner comes from 4, 5, 7, and 2. They appear the only 4 winning chances in the last race. Mr. Nocky was impressive winning first up. It's got the good draw. Should get a good run. Dr. Good Habit. It's trialled really well. Looks ready to go from barrier 1. It's going to be hard to beat. Jolly Victor, Dining World. They look the only other 2 winning chances. They'll be giving them a start. Let Me Go, Nice Folks. And Crazy Buddies has trialled well. Probably throw it in on a place line. The TT's the main one. They expect a pot of probably close to 30 million. We're due a little bit of luck. Maybe tomorrow's our day to get that. And we can blast out and get in front and give them something to think about for the next 5 months of the season. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Good luck if you play.